Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Retrospective Podcast. I'm your host, Ernest EJ Christian, as we are about SummerSlam 2015. It is the 28th SummerSlam in WWE history, and of course, joined here by what does DJ call you? The Minister of Truth, the Facts and
The
Data,
Deacon
blah blah
of Data.
blah, gibberish,
Yeah, the
Rob
father of
Genius,
facts and figures and Deacon of Data.
Deacon of Data.
Yeah.
I like that. That did he make that up, or did you pay him to do that?
Oh no, he made it up.
That was great. That's great. That's really good stuff, man. I every time he does that, I love it. I love it. So as we said, Robert Gene is of course with us, as always. Also my co-host of the Falls Count Anywhere podcast. Today we mark on the 10th anniversary of SummerSlam 2015, which of course took place on August 23rd, 2015, in Brooklyn, New York, my hometown. At the Barclays Center. The attendance there was 15,702. The buy rate was 121,000 views. That's not including, of course, WWE Network. 2015, Rob, where the hell were you doing? You watching the product at this point? You were back in.
Yes, I had been fully back in for a couple of years at this point because I got fully back in 2012, and so I was 3 years back in, and yeah, I was a full-fledged, watcher, customer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had been looking forward to this, and this was a few months after WrestleMania 31.
Of course, after the heist, of course.
Yes.
So we're gonna have two matches. We're gonna cover two matches here mainly. The two big matches on the card. We're gonna cover first here the John Cena versus Seth Rollins match, which is title for title. John Cena, of course, will be the U.S. champion coming to the match, and Seth Rollins, as you mentioned, the heist, is the current world champion in the company. And then the last match will be a rematch of a year before that, which will pit The Undertaker against Brock Lesnar. Of course, this is a year and some odd months after the end of the streak. So both matches, unfortunately, are not together. So we'll have two different timestamps for both these matches. So the first match we'll do John Cena versus Seth Rollins. The timestamp for this one will be a 1 hour, 52 minutes, 35 seconds. And then, of course, the last match, which we'll cover after we finish that one, will be 3 hours, 9 minutes, 52 seconds. We'll get to that after we get to the conclusion of the Cena's Rollins match. Of course, I wasn't watching the product at the time. I was out. I was still out at the time. I had T's come back in the year before that. I actually did. I will say, Rob, I did watch Mania 30. I did watch Mania 30 mainly because that was the first year of the network. And I did still get the network solely because of the library, but was not watching current product at all. So if that's for any history there from on my end. So like I said, if you guys need to pause the podcast to set up, again, 1 hour, 50 minutes, 35 seconds in the SummerSlam 2015. Of course, season 28, episode 1, whatever, Peacock. So if you got to pause. Otherwise, we'll get started on the podcast. Ready to go, Mr. Barnett?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And there you go. There's JBL. There's Michael Cole. There's the King, Jerry Lawler. I think I told you on the podcast. I don't know if it was False Count or was it one of these retro pods. Like, I always considered King a little overrated as a commentator. I thought JR made him great as he was, and then any work he did outside of JR was not. I mean, I thought his work with Vince was okay, but I've never been a fan of JR of King, Jerry Lawler, outside of his work with JR. Is that a hot take for you?
No, because I guess he was good with JR, but I think he went too far into the shtick. Especially a lot of like just sexist and misogynist kind of stuff. He went too far because I mean this happens for me. It seems to happen a lot with like the commentators who are either like really animated all the time or doing some type of shtick. They eventually go lean into it too much. Because like I I don't know if you're familiar with Morrow, who was did NXT for a while. Um, Mauro Ranalli, I think his
Yeah, a
name
little
is.
bit.
Oh, because when
Yeah.
he first started, like he started out doing SmackDown, and then he went over to NXT, and like everybody thought that he was like a breath of fresh air, and he was great and everything. But then after a few years of that, he, you know, because he has, he's gets really animated, and they always start from like getting animated a little bit to being that way all the time, and it gets to be too much. Like I said, I mean, like for me, with like Pat McAfee, it was like um when he first started, I thought he was really good, but then you know, like this year, he was just turned up to 11 all the time, and so yeah, for me, King it was kind of like that. I mean, at the beginning, him and JR, I thought they were good, especially for it being the Attitude Era and all that. They really fit the Attitude Era, but as things went on, yeah, it's just, again, he went too far into the whole shtick and everything. It was just like, okay, yeah.
It got a bit much after a while. It was too much.
Yeah.
It's almost like he relied on. He was like he relied on it too much.
Yeah, and then after a while, it sounds like they're like trying too hard. So yeah, but to me, it's just, yeah. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of King at this point either.
Yeah. So they're showing this promo of the history of SummerSlam and the history of just some of the big events in the history of the company, and then they get to the not the vignette, but the lead up to the promo for the Cena Rollins match here. It's pretty good. WWE, no matter what era it is, they make fantastic promos. They make fantastic lead ups, fantastic
Yeah.
uh, stories. It's incredible. Because Cena at this point was also now the at the time the 15-time champion.
Yeah.
He was still full time at this point, right? I think he was still full time.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Looking back on hindsight, seeing where we're at now in real time with Cena. Now he got 17. He's retiring very soon. In the end of this year. I really would like to do a deep dive on Cena's tenure in the company.
Because it's funny because I came
By the
back
way,
and I can't.
still game.
Oh yeah,
The
because
booing
see,
athletic, in my opinion. He
um, and that shirt he's wearing,
played.
my son and I, the first house show I took him to my son and I, was like a month after this, and we both, I bought that orange T-shirt for both of us. But yeah, at this point, like, yeah, because I got back in 2012, and I did not understand like the whole thing with people booing him like they were. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense to me. And a few people tried. I asked some people, and they gave me that explanation. I was like, okay, this is just stupid. Like you're mad because he's being booked like a traditional baby face. That's what you're mad about. You know. And then they always have like, well, yeah, what about this? What about this? Okay, like this is the formula. Like the way this company has always
All right.
created. I mean, whether it was Bruno or Hulk Hogan or Brett or and again, even though again we talked about this before, even though Austin's demeanor was not a traditional baby face, I mean he fought the evil owner. So
Yeah. They always say. Yeah.
I guess for me it's just and but at this point this might have been like this may have been
When you came back to watching the product though, did that shit bother you as a fan?
Yeah, it did because look, I mean, because I go back to Hulkamania, as everybody who's been listening to us knows. And to me, it was just I just felt like these people, like y'all are being assholes. Like why? Okay, if you can't, like, there's a basic amount of playing along that's required here, and y'all refuse to do it. And
Yeah, ridiculous. There's
you know,
Seth now. Seth.
yeah.
Interesting. The outfits looks cool. I love the outfit.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
Pretty dope.
so yeah, just it irritated the hell out of me. And of course, you know, this was also when when Roman was getting booed at this point a lot. And so for me, and so it was going on double at this point for me. And I'm just like, what are y'all people like? What is wrong with you people? And
And yet, to be honest with you, Rob, and you look in hindsight, this was going on for at least 10 years at this point now. Because this thing started literally from the time he became champion.
and and I guess some people did point out to me that, like, when he did, the people started kind of like getting fed up when he stopped doing like the doctor of ergonomics stuff and went to being more like this.
Yeah,
And yeah, I guess, I mean, my answer to that was, well, they couldn't do that forever.
yeah.
Like, the attitude era stuff was just, it's just not sustainable. You just couldn't do that forever.
I mean, you never accused the wrestling community of being very smart and very broad in their thoughts.
Well, no.
So that's just we were there. But this is the era now where so Cena is now the veteran at this point. Now he's been in the company now over 10 years,
Yeah.
and meanwhile we have the creating of stars now. Of course, in this time we have Seth Rollins' ascent, Roman Reigns' ascent. At the time Dean Ambrose was there. You got a lot of guys who we now look at today as the veterans that were the up and coming stars. Did you ever think Seth Rollins would be? I mean, you look back then, 10 years ago. Do you think Seth Rollins would be a top guy? I mean, he wasn't. I mean, at this point, he's a top guy. At this point, really one of the top guys. But did you see this guy as a guy you would see eventually being 10 years later one of the greats? Like I told you, on numerous pods, I now look at Seth Rollins as a top 15 guy all time.
Okay, because at first, no, because when Roman and Dean Ambrose were the Shield, Roman and Ambrose were the ones that were being positioned most to be big
Right.
stars, and it really looked like Seth was going to be the one that got left behind, basically. Because just, I mean, like, you could just tell from the positioning, or at least it was implied that, because Ambrose did most of the talking originally, and then, I mean, you just look at Roman and knew they were going to try to make him a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and Rollins was looking like the guy who was just he was going to be the third guy, and so when they did and when it got to the point where they were getting close to breaking up, most people assumed that either Roman was going to turn or that Ambrose was going to turn, and nobody, I don't care what anybody tells you, nobody had Rollins being the one that turned, and so it was a total shock when he did it, when he was the one that did it.
It's brilliant booking. It's arguably one of the greatest top. I would dare say top five, easily top five greatest turns in history of the company. Like you put up with Shawn Michaels, with Marty Jannetty. I mean, put up with people say Mega Powers, but I disagree with that one because we saw that coming.
Yeah.
Even though it was executed brilliantly. Andre's turn on Hogan. I'll put it up there.
Well, I think, look, more stuff came out of this
Absolutely.
because, I mean, that happened in 2014, and it basically set off, I mean, up until
We're
now. I
yeah, we're
mean,
still seeing effects of that turn 11 years later. We're
yeah,
still seeing effects of that 11 years later. That's still a story being told right now.
yeah. And And I don't think if we're just talking about the company itself, just WWE,
Hmm.
I mean, it might be number one. I mean, because
I don't hate it.
I mean, no, I mean, the only one, okay, the only other one that had this kind of effect was Roman. And of
Yeah.
course, that's ironic. They both started in the same group together. Because look, I mean, Savage, I mean, the Mega Powers was, I mean, it was a great story, but it was over in
We
what?
knew. I mean, we knew it was coming. Doesn't matter when and how.
Yeah, I mean, it was over in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Andre turned, and I mean, it was WrestleMania 3, and then maybe like a year or two of stuff after that. Okay, um, but and then so I would say look at Seth Rowan and probably Shawn as far as like turns that had the most of overall just results or effects that that had and honestly nobody saw any. I mean,
No.
because we didn't see Roman happening when it did, and nobody had Shawn either. Because I mean, nobody had the Rockers breaking up.
Well, the shock value is what made Seth Rollins' turn incredible. The shock value of Andre. I guess when you look at turns, it's more about shock value because yes, the Mega Powers turn was fundamentally executed beautifully, but we knew it was coming. There was
Yeah,
no shock value to it, but the way they did it was fantastic. But Andre had a shock value. Shawn Michaels had a shock value. Seth Rollins, hell, Roman Reigns' turn could be just unload because he was gone for 4 or 5 months, and the last time we saw Roman Reigns was before COVID, and he was the quintessential babyface, and there was no like lead up to this. There was no tease on heel turn, so that one could definitely be put up there as a top three as well too. But yeah, what makes Seth number one reason why I might put Seth number one ultimately is because Seth's turn created so much programming what we see even 11 years later.
yeah, and so I think it's look, I think that the biggest turns in the company, Seth Roman and Shawn Michaels. I think those had the
Yep.
biggest effect.
The same with Bret Hart. Bret Hart's turn in Mania 13 was a natural turn, but it was coming for a while. We kind of saw the seeds that planted like months before.
Yeah,
But
and then it didn't, and then honestly, it didn't as far as effects. I mean, I mean, short-term effects, but because I mean, he was gone, a few months later, so it didn't have the same type of long-term effect.
right,
And,
Seth Rollins is such a great worker.
yeah, no,
Such a such a
and
great match.
this is pre-knee injury, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
because like yeah, you really got to watch some of the stuff like from before his knee blew out his knee the first time because he was running around the ring like a maniac.
yeah. The Shield was a babyface faction, right?
Well, they started out as heels, but I mean, it was kind of like a Road Warrior kind of thing. I mean, they were too cool,
Right. What would you
and
put
so they did eventually turn a babyface. Yeah, but
what would you put the Shield all time factions? Like rank them top five, two, one.
yeah, because top five for sure. And now, as far as like what they produced out of it, now, I think they're the number one as far as like what they produced, like future of what they produced.
Because Moxley's the top guy in AEW now, so
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about what they did, if we're talking about what they did while they were together, um, I mean, they'd still be up there. But if we're talking about like what they produced, as far as future stars, then I mean, you got them and you got Evolution,
Evolution didn't last that long though. Evolution lasted
No,
less than 2
but
years.
I'm talking in terms of what they produced like for the future.
Right.
Because Evolution produced Randy and Batista.
Right.
Um,
And it rehabbed Flair.
yeah,
And it kind of sustained Triple H and made him this icon.
yeah.
So yeah.
As far as WWE factions, like they're probably the top two. Now, yeah, I mean they're probably as far as WWE factions, they're probably the top two.
Right.
And you could throw, I mean, New Day after the, if you want to count New Day as a faction.
Well, any group with 3 or more is a faction.
Okay.
2's a tag team, 3. New Day's both.
Okay.
So
well, because I mean, yeah, I mean they had 2 guys won the world championship out of that group, and they also won. I think they both won all the singles titles too.
Yeah.
And Wood won King of the Ring 1 year, so they'd probably be third.
So Seth's a heel here, obviously.
Yeah. Now we're talking like factions in and out of WWE. Well then you have to think about the NWO and
I mean Horsemen, of course.
And,
Yeah.
And the Freebirds.
NWO number 1, right? Obviously. You got to say yes because of the impact. They changed the business.
Also, I mean, so the Four Horsemen, though. I mean,
no, they did. The problem with the Four Horsemen, though, is that was relegated to just a WCW thing, and that was it. NWO reverberated the entire industry in a sense where, and of course, having Hogan also helps because we talk about Hogan's heel turn was felt throughout the entire industry. I mean, I think if you ask me, I think the Horseman is better. But if I told the most impactful faction at NWO,
I'll agree with you there.
Hell, I might give the Shield better than NWO too. Also, to be honest with you, because to me, the NWO after that first year was I kind of got stale.
And honestly, maybe like who did they produce? Did anybody come out of that group and become a big deal going forward?
Hey, pause your thing real quick. Pause it. My wife's calling. Okay.
Okay.
Pause it real quick. All right, back. Sorry about that. A little quick phone call. Right, hitting it, playing 5, 4, 3, 2, and up. See. All right. These boys are going putting the work boots in right now. This thing, man. These two.
Oh yeah, and this is another thing. One of the things that people said about Cena was that he wasn't very good, or there were times during some of the matches people started chanting, "You can't wrestle," which was ludicrous.
I never understood that shit. I never understood that shit. Like he literally is the prototype for, and go figure that's really was his name coming into the company. Prototype for what a star is. Less is more. Like he's literally he's no different than Roman Reigns. He's no different than Hulk Hogan. He's no different than Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's no different than The Rock. Those guys aren't necessarily technical wrestlers. None of those guys I mentioned are technical wrestlers. But they know how to tell a story.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
Really was I mean Austin before when he was in WCW.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like if you haven't watched any of his WCW stuff, I highly recommend it.
Oh, I've definitely seen the Hollywood Blonde stuff and yeah, I've seen that definitely. To me, it's just lazy analysis from people from marks who don't understand the business. You know, Hulk Hogan should have been the top guy. Yeah, but he was because that's what sells. You know, it's the same thing like we look at music. Like I understand why Taylor Swift is so big. Like, is she like the greatest what she does and the greatest singer? And no, but people gravitate to simple and less is more, and that's why she's as big as she is. This is why Hogan's as he was. This is why Cena is who he was. It's always simple and true. It's about storytelling and character, and these guys all have that.
Yeah.
By the way, I had the worst allergy attack last night.
Oh man.
My wife and I were cleaning the house and we started dusting, and that was a mistake for me. Oh, flock splash. That was sick.
Oh yeah.
And I had the worst allergy attack after that because the dust got on my nose. I had to take another shower just to clear up my face, and then the worst part was I woke up for work this morning, and I had no energy because the one thing about allergies is that it drains you. It drains you of any energy. So I was struggling today.
My arm, because I got stung by a bee earlier this week.
You got what? You got what?
Stung by a bee earlier this week.
What?
Yeah. And so my arm finally feels better now.
Oh shit.
Because
Man, they got bees in Maryland?
oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Oh man. I made fun of Big Jim the other day because he's like, I'm going to the beach for a week. I'm like, the beach is in Pennsylvania. he's like, fuck you, asshole. I go, listen, you have to take it from my point of view. I live in Florida, like tropical sunshine. Okay, my house is literally 10 minutes from the beach. Okay, that's a beach to me. Okay, and I'm from New York, and I was raised going to beaches in New York, but those aren't beaches. That's just water with some sand.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ain't no beaches, bro. Come on, we talking about beaches.
Oh no, man, I lived in New York until I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
And you're spot on. It is.
Same PA, man. It's not a beach. It's not a real beach. It's just it's the coast with sand and water. Sorry. And you know what? If I'm a snob, if I'm a Florida snob saying this, sign me up. I'm a Florida fucking snob saying it. Sign me up. I'm a snob, bro. I'm a snob. Shit. Jim cussed me out for saying that. Oh well.
Look, I'm not big on eating crabs, but
neither am I.
I mean, Maryland is if you're talking about being a snob, Maryland is a crab snob place.
Are you a crab snob?
No, I don't like because to me I don't like. I mean, to me, I didn't grow up eating them because like my mom was allergic to shellfish or is allergic to shellfish.
Yeah.
So we didn't really eat that stuff growing up.
Right.
And so I never really got into it. And then I tried it as an adult, but to me, it was like this is too much work. And to me, they just taste okay. So
yeah,
I was just like,
Why was this match the main event?
Well, because Taker and Brock was the main event, and well, because see at this point, well, they I think they called it a double main event.
They did.
I think. I might be wrong, but
let's check it out. Let's check it out.
But that's funny because they made a bunch of house shows against each other, like after this.
Who's Cena and Rollins?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, because I think at this point they weren't fully like they were still bringing Rollins along as a main eventer. Like he had main evented as a pay-per-views because he was the world champion, but I think at this point, and the main event was Taker and Brock, and at that, the Brock main events,
right?
Unless he's the main event, so he goes on first.
Right. Sometimes, yeah. By the way, this SummerSlam at Barclays was the first of 4 in a row.
Yes.
They were whoring Barclays Center, and remember, Barclays was brand new at the time.
And they were doing double header. They were doing like the whole weekend because this was the time they did the NXT takeover the night.
Yeah, they did that. Is that where they did the Bailey Sasha rematch?
That's where they did the first match. The first match.
Yeah.
And that's what like
great match, by the way. Great match.
Yes, it was. And that's where like the horsewomen did like their own version of the curtain call. Except theirs was allowed. They didn't go into business for themselves.
Yep. It was a combo. I love that combo by Rollins over there. off the top rope and then pick him up again for the
Yeah.
suplex. So good. Yeah, Rollins. Look, you may not even notice it. I guess you could notice it, but Rollins' pre-knee injury was elite.
Well, because he was a Ring of
elite
Honor
now.
guy. He came from Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
and so that's that's what they did.
Right.
Now, I think this is also not the main event because of this is one of the worst finishes ever.
Oh boy, it's coming up now.
Yeah.
Right, very controversial in these parts. Get up, referee.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, this finish was so bad.
Was it shit on my internet at the time?
Yes.
Okay. Again, I wasn't watching the product at the time, so I couldn't tell you. Now, I did remember hearing about this. So back in the day, I wasn't watching the product, but you would hear people who I would talk to, respect, that were into sports, also watch wrestling, would talk about the angle, and you'll see in a second when Jon Stewart comes out. People will talk about it. I think I remember people being pissed off at the time because I spent a lot of time on Twitter back in 2015.
Because he and Rollins had done some stuff back and forth, you know. So the impression was that he was
there it is
for beefing.
Here's our next president, who should be next president. I'd vote for him.
I mean,
listen, man, the bar is set lower now these last couple times, so let's go.
I'd prefer. Well, if I had to vote for a late night talk show host to be president, I'd go with Colbert.
Who?
I'd go with Colbert over Jon Stewart if I had to pick one. If I had to vote for one to be president.
Colbert's not bad.
I think he's smarter.
Why was this a shit finish though? Why? Is it because Stewart turned on? Because I know Lolita was.
Well,
Stewart
okay, so
Cena had beef.
Well, okay, so now you see people are happy because they wanted Rollins to win. So on the one hand, Rollins won, and they were good with that. But it was kind of dumb. That's all. But at this point, people were happy because Rollins won.
Right. It was the way it was done, though. You said.
Yeah. So he was coming out of this. He was world and U.S. champion, and then Cena would win. Cena would win the U.S. title back at the next pay-per-view.
So Rollins is champ now.
Yeah.
Did he vacate one of the belts, or did he kept both?
Oh no, they had a rematch at the next pay-per-view.
And Cena won, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, and then because that was that next pay-per-view, Rollins wrestled twice actually. He and Cena had a rematch, and then he defended the world title against Sting in the main event.
Oh right, okay.
And that was the match where Sting just gave out on him.
Right. All right, let's fast forward to now. While we're doing this, I'm setting up the last match because we're short on time. Also, I don't want to go too long because I know we gotta leave here soon. And I just realized too the Undertaker's entrance is pretty long, so I don't want to go too nuts.
Oh yeah, why don't we skip his entrance? Because
that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So I'm setting up right now. Yeah, way too damn long.
And
no reason I consider doing it the whole. I want to see Brock's entrance.
Okay.
Because I'm a Brock Mark, obviously. You know this already.
Yeah, and now this show, I mean, one thing noteworthy about this show, was just the collection of talent that would basically still running, still at the top. A lot of it was.
Yeah.
This was the first show that had like all of them together.
Yep.
Because
at the same time, right? Yeah.
Because Roman and Seth were on this show. Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky were on this show.
Yep.
Kevin Owens was on this show. And this was like, I think this might have been the first show that they were all on together.
Yeah.
All
right. So fast forward to 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 47 seconds. All right. People listen to the podcast. 3 hours, 18 minutes, 47 seconds. If you need to pause it, do so at this time, as Rob sets up for the The second match we're gonna cover Brock Lesnar against The Undertaker. Is a rematch from the previous year's WrestleMania. We're gonna skip the entrances of The Undertaker because it's too fucking long.
Yeah. So you said 318,
318.47. Yeah, 318.47.
Okay,
okay. Again, if you guys pause, if you need to pause, otherwise we're gonna start it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, when would you say Taker's? I mean, he's obviously older back then too, but when would you say was when Taker started to fall off? Like the real, not the aging part, but more so like. Remember, right here, he's only a couple years off from having those classic main matches against Shawn Michaels. When would you say the tailing off happened? After the streak ended?
Okay, so I think the last time he was like 100% fully functional was, I think, 26 when Shawn's retirement match. Because then he started wrestling less frequently after that.
2010.
Yeah. And then because I think he wrestled a little bit more that year after WrestleMania 26. But then like he did WrestleMania 27, he didn't come back for another year.
Right.
And then so I think 27 was when he started only wrestling like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And so I think because he stopped doing a lot of like the dives over the ropes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He stopped doing that after those Shawn matches. Because
was he still doing old school?
Here at this point,
he might be still doing it probably at this point. Maybe.
Yeah. And now see, look, they're just swinging, man. Look at this.
Yeah. Fucking Brock. Him and Brock. You saw guys that had chemistry. Him and Brock had good chemistry.
Oh yes, they do. Yes, and because they just they just swing at each other, you know, and they they lay it in, and they didn't have to feel like they had to be delicate, you know.
So Brock right now is a few months off losing his title from the Heist. Yes. And one of the greatest title runs we've seen in this company's history. Like I would say at this point, him returning, his return is already at this point better than his initial start in 2002. I would say the 3 years at this point versus the 3 years he did in 2 years rather, he did the original 2-year run. I would say it's already better than it was the original run. I think debate is too also better Heyman pairing, Lesnar, Roman, or Punk in your opinion? See, I prefer Lesnar, but
I think Punk is third for me because Punk didn't really need.
Not only is he third, he's a distant third.
Yeah, because he didn't really add anything to Punk to me.
How long have they paired up for? Like a year?
From like almost a year. Yeah.
Hold on, she's calling again. 1 second, pause it.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, wife keeps calling in the middle of the watch-alongs. You see that happening?
Yeah, but Heyman, he didn't add much to Punk at all, really.
Suplex City, bitch.
Yeah. I think he probably added the most to Brock because
he needed a voice. He needed an advocate, if you will. Because Brock wasn't necessarily a great, and Brock still isn't to this day. It isn't a great speaker. He's not someone that's a great on the mic, but Roman is.
Right.
Roman always was actually. So Roman pairing with Brock with Heyman was nothing to do with like a need. It was more so like making that character get over.
Yeah, I think with Roman, Heyman was more character work, not talking.
Yeah.
Whereas Brock needed him to talk.
Yeah.
But now Brock didn't really need him for character work though.
Yeah. Now these guys met a few times actually in the past though. During
Yeah, because
Brock's original run, way
they
back in
feuded during
2002.
Brock's first run.
Yeah, they didn't have a cage match also too back in 2002. I could have
They
sworn they
might
did.
have because I was out by that point, so I missed.
I could have swore they did a couple like and this was when Taker was like Big Evil Taker when Brock was champion. I think they called match in 2002, 2003. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I missed all of that. So
I remember watching one match from back that time. As far as the match is not in the cage or something.
oh well, they actually later on this year their last match was Hell in a Cell later on this year,
Oh,
and that was a good one too. That's worth watching if you want to do it.
I'll add it to the list because it's anniversary this year too anyway.
Yep, Hell in a Cell 2015.
All right, we will do that. You know me, anniversary watch alongs. I'm always down for that.
Yeah, and there actually, I mean, I can recommend a bunch of matches from 2015.
People always say that this era was like kind of dull. I disagree, man. I watch back a lot of this stuff now, in hindsight, and I didn't watch it at the time. I would have been into this stuff in 2015, 2014, 16, 17. I would have been into this stuff.
So those are because the IWC, they were mad because Roman was getting pushed, and that's basically what it was. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, it was primarily because the IWC, because Roman was getting pushed in all those years, and the IWC didn't like that, and so
but the talent pool back in this era was amazing too.
and they had a lot of amazing matches
Yeah,
from 2015 up through the when the pandemic hit. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
and
Like
it's
I understood the flaws in 2019 when I came back. I understood why people didn't like it, but I didn't think it was as egregious as people were making it out to be. I thought there was some really quality matches there. Like, look, I wasn't a big Seth guy because Seth was a babyface and trying to push all babyface stuff. I didn't buy that shit. But Seth was going to be great matches, though. I had a problem
yeah,
with the character, that's all. But the worker,
yes,
no, definitely. Like, I hate the whole Becky Seth babyface combo. Now, if Seth and Becky did stuff now as heels together, that makes more sense. Suplex City.
yeah, and yeah, it's just yeah. Look, I will defend this era, like,
Oh, absolutely.
and like we were saying, like y'all people, if you weren't around for 1995, then you have no room to criticize this.
Right.
And
Like I feel like I think what going to happen too also was that the pandemic made people appreciate what we did have in 2019, 18, 17. Because when you took away the crowds for that 1 year, yeah, I think people started appreciating. You know what? Maybe it wasn't that bad. And I always and you and I always we go this too also. You think 2019 was bad? We've been watching stuff from 1995 as of late. Trust me. That 2019 is not 1995.
no,
And we're talking about WCW as well too, not just WWE, WCW too as well. So, perspective, please.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, look, I can make a list of stuff for us to watch from.
Oh, you know me. Send it to me whenever you want, and we'll
Okay,
add to the list. I'm all about that stuff. You know me. I'm all about that.
because at this point forward, like things got really. I mean, at least match wise, things got really good over the rest of the
Oh
year.
yeah, I watched a lot of this stuff. Like I've seen this match before, obviously, but I've watched a lot of this stuff in hindsight through the years, the last couple of years, and I'm impressed by the work. I'm impressed. Like I honestly wish I was watching the product at this time. Oh, you see Brock busted open?
Yep.
Bless you. Oh wait, Brock is top 10 all time for me. Wrestling's much cooler when he's around. Always. Like there are eras I wish I had been invested. Like I wish I was more invested in 2002, 3, and 4. Honestly, I actually enjoyed Brock's his first run. I enjoyed that actually.
See, I was all the way out, and
I was too. By after Mania 18, about a week or two after Mania 18, I was done. I'm curious what Taker's record against Brock Lesnar is all time. Gotta look that up next. This is a good match.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's as good as the Mania 30 match, but it's pretty good.
Oh, honestly, I thought this was better because Taker was moving around better here.
You thought so?
Oh yeah.
I was one of the only people that said, I remember, and I only said it because I was talking shit at the time, but I was one of the people that said that Lesnar would stop the streak. I had no good reason to predict it because I was watching fun at the time. But I remember telling everybody it ends tonight, and I was okay with it. And I'll still say to this day, he was the right guy to end the streak.
Oh yeah, I mean you can't. I'm sorry. There's no one else you can name that could have done what he did.
Future topic. By the way, future topic. We'll have to do it today. We'll have to debate it today. We can save it for the False Count show. Going through Taker's entire 21 wins, whatever we had, WrestleMania. If you had to book a wrestler to end the streak, or give him his first loss, we'll go back to WrestleMania 7, against Snuka, all the way through. We lost to Lesnar. If you had to pick one person that would have made sense to end the streak, who would it have been? Don't say it now. Save that for. So don't say it now.
Okay.
I may add that as a topic for these next couple episodes. Just a false count. You have to go through. You have to go through the entire the 20. Because there are a couple guys there. I look at it like, you know what? That could have made sense.
And then the other thing to remember is they didn't start counting it until he got up to 10.
Right. So, and that's 10 years in. That's 2001.
I think when he beat Flair at WrestleMania 18 is when he first started counting.
Right. But I mean, honestly, there's some guys that even before then, before the 10, that I could have taught myself into saying, if he lost that match, it made sense. But you know what? We'll save that for False Count because I'm gonna have an entire topic and discussion about that. Because I think that's especially now with when not hitting slow season in wrestling. So yeah, that should be a very interesting topic to decipher. You know what? I think I agree with you actually. I think this match is better than the Mania 30 match.
Because I mean, I think Taker got concussed during the match at 30, and he just wasn't moving around very well for a while during that match.
So the rumor is that Vince made the call to put Brock over that night. I don't believe that. I had a hard time believing that shit. You don't make a decision like that to have him end the streak that night. I don't believe that for one fucking bit.
Well, because Vince was wired that way.
But to end something as significant as a streak, you just say, Taker, win again. And then, you know what? I woke up, I was on the bed, had a bad egg salad today for lunch. You know what? Fuck it. Let's make Brock end the streak tonight. Vince had to put some time and thought in that first.
Okay, well, if he had been thinking about it for a while and then he made his final decision that day, that's believable. But now if you tell me if you tell me they had everything set up for Taker to win and then he just changed his mind that day, that's a bit much. Even though he has done that before. I mean, but no, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he didn't reach his final decision until that day, because that's such a big thing to do. And that is exactly the kind of thing you would overthink.
I could believe if he considered it and then was back and forth and then he said, fine, this day. But to just say that, hey pal, we're gonna do this now, like, it's gotta make sense. And somebody like this has to be treated with care also too. He had to be considering it for weeks and months beforehand.
Yeah, so I think that's what it was. I think he probably reached a final decision.
Yeah. My nose right now is so fucking stuffy. I can't stand it. It's annoying. Damn fucking allergies, man. Yeah, you can hear my voice too also. I sound congested. I need a neti pot when I'm done here. That or one of those like things for your nose. Yeah, I think you might be right here. I think I might enjoy this match more than the Mania 30 match.
Yeah, you got him in.
What do you call that again? The arm bar?
Hell's Gate.
Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taker. At this point, Taker became like one of those like because he was able to move as much as he used to. He became more like a sparer. Even more so. Kind of like that. And there you go.
And this was another convoluted finish.
You think? Oh, this finish was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm with you, man. I think I prefer this match actually as a work rate match better than the 30. I mean, obviously 30 wins because of the moment, but
and so they rang the bell,
right?
And
yeah, this is a great work. Why is Heyman in the ring? Get out the ring, Heyman. Oh, that's why the bell. Oh, that's why I came in the ring. This is obviously kayfabe. Oh, in the nads.
yeah.
In the fucking nads. This is actually brilliantly booked. Actually, I will say. So Lesnar got the belt back. What, the year after? Do you remember?
So they worked Hell in a Cell after this, and then he didn't come back for another couple of months.
He went away again for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seth got hurt around this time too. Also, look at that middle finger. Put them off.
And
that's great. Defiant Lesnar. Wow. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Not to blame the point at home again, but I think I like this match better than the original match. Oh shit! Take a one. Take a one. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I forgot he won this match.
Yeah,
I seen before, but I forgot he won this match. I forgot about that. I might have rioted if this match actually I watched this live.
So this was basically kind of like So this was essentially the rematch from WrestleMania 30,
and then you.
Yeah, and then they had
The Hell in a Cell match.
yeah.
Build it up. Of course. Yeah, I like the match. I mean, I've seen it a long time, but this match was good. This match was fantastic. This is definitely a better work rate match than the first one. No, good stuff, man. That was good. Yeah, obviously this is Taker's decline. Obviously, I mean, he's like what now, 25 years into his his WWE career. You know, yeah, but at this point with Taker was just he became an attraction at this point. He was part-time too, though, here as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, good stuff, man. All right, so any final thoughts on these two matches? I mean, like I said, I love the work rate, Cena, Seth stuff. Obviously, this is better than the Mania 30 match as well, too. Why is Heyman getting mad right now?
Oh man, I love both of these matches.
Yeah. I actually miss SummerSlam being indoors. I know obviously SummerSlam is a big deal. You had 2 nights outdoors this year, but I miss SummerSlam being indoors. Wow. Is it F5 the referee? Let me see. Why is the ref still in there?
Well,
Get the fuck out.
He was.
I'm like, if I'm a ref, I'll get out of there because actually, you know what? That finish makes sense too, also, because it doesn't hurt Brock because Brock technically won the match. So he was, yeah, and then the middle finger, of course, too, also. Good stuff. I'll be honest with you, like, it's a surprise a lot of folks, though. I'm not the biggest Undertaker fan, like everybody else is. Like, I obviously appreciate what he's done to the company and the business, and I recognize he's the greatest character of all time. He's top 10, somebody say top 5, top 6 all time. Greatest employee in WWE. But
I guess for me, like there may be about a dozen matches of his that I really, really like, and that I would put at the top of any list.
uh-huh.
But there's a lot of stuff where I could take or leave.
Yeah. What's Heyman doing? Ringing the bell?
Yeah.
This is great. This is classic Heyman.
I saw it, the timekeeper saw it, and all of you saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by tap out submission, the beast, the conqueror, Brock Lesnar.
And so this would set up the Hell in a Cell match they had a few months later.
You know what? We'll add that to the list, and we'll do that watch alongside next episode.
Yep. So I'll make a 2015 list for you of what's left.
Yep.
Yeah. And now I gotta go.
Yeah. Where the plugs? Where we go?
Okay, as always, catch me every week, Mindless Wrestling Podcast, DJ and Jason, every few weeks on my own, Rob the Genius Podcast, and you can hear me here, of course, Falls Count Anywhere, and
Yes.
whatever the name of this one is. I forgot.
Wrestling, right there. Look at that. Right there. Boom. The
Okay.
Wrestling Retrospective Podcast.
Right.
Of course, I as well on X at East7, Earth Street Pod on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. Great job, Rob, as always. Until next one, we'll talk soon.